The wind howled across the empty plains, carrying whispers of frost and sorrow. Snow fell in quiet layers over the land, erasing all signs of the road she had walked. Her boots were torn, her breath shallow, her body trembling under the weight of exhaustion. Somewhere in the distance, wolves cried, but she couldn't run anymore. Mary collapsed beside the riverbank, her vision fading into a haze of white. The world grew silent, except for the faint sound of rushing water beneath the ice. For a moment, she thought it was the end. Then came the sound of hoofs. A lone rider, wrapped in a dark coat, slowed his horse when he saw something against the snow. Dismounting, he hurried forward, a weathered man with kind, steady eyes. When he reached her, he dropped to his knees. "Miss. Can you hear me?" His voice was rough but gentle. Her lips moved, barely forming words. "Please, my baby, she's gone cold." He pulled back her torn blanket and saw a small infant nestled against her chest, pale but breathing. Without a second thought, he unbuttoned his coat and wrapped both mother and child inside it, pressing them against his warmth. "Hold on," he said, lifting them both. "You're gonna be all right now." He carried them to his horse, mounted carefully, and rode toward the small light flickering in the distance, his cabin by the river. Hours later, as the storm raged outside, a fire crackled in the hearth. The woman lay on a bed wrapped in furs, her baby sleeping beside her. The cowboy sat near the fire, wiping the frost from his beard, glancing back every few minutes to make sure they were still breathing. When she stirred, her voice was weak but clear. Why did you help me?" He smiled faintly. "'Cause I remember what it's like to lose everything and still want to believe someone'll care." Tears filled her eyes. She looked down at her baby, now warm and peaceful. "You saved us." He shook his head slowly. "Maybe you saved me. Been a long time since I had someone to come home to." For a long while, neither spoke. The only sound was the wind outside, gentler now, as if the storm had passed. In the days that followed, Mary regained her strength. She told him of the town that had cast her out, of the husband they lost to the war, and the long road they walked with her newborn in her arms. He told her his name was Jack, a rancher who they lived alone since his wife died years ago. The river had been his only companion until that night. They worked together to rebuild what life had taken, feeding the animals, mending the fences, watching the sun rise over the frozen fields. And with each passing day, the silence between them filled with warmth. One morning, as Mary stepped outside holding her child, Jack came up behind her, laying his coat gently over her shoulders. "Still snowing," he said. "You best stay warm." She smiled softly. "You always know when I need that." Jack looked down at her, and in her eyes, he saw the light of everything he thought they lost. From that day on, when the snow fell across the river, it no longer felt cold. It felt like memory, of the night she fell, and he lifted her into his arms, and into his heart.